thought they were in love, they were never in love. That was too a heady thing. It was not of the heart. People live and go on missing life. It needs courage. It needs courage to be realistic. It needs courage to move with the life wherever it leads. The paths are uncharted. There exists no map. One has to go into the unknown. Life can be understood only if you are ready to go into the unknown. If you cling to the known, you cling to the mind, and mind is not life. Life is non-mental, non-intellectual, because life is total. Your totality has to be involved in it. You cannot just think about it. Thinking about life is not life. Beware of this aboutism. One goes on thinking about. There are people who think about God. There are people who think about life. People who think about love. People who think about this and that. Mullah Nasruddin became very old and he went to his doctor. And he was looking very weak. And the doctor said, I can say only one thing. You will have to cut your love life to half. The mullah said, okay. Which half? Talking about it or thinking about it? That's all. Don't become a language professor. Don't become a parrot. Parrots are language professors. They live in words, concepts, theories, theologies. And life goes on passing, is slipping out of the hands. Then one day suddenly they become afraid of death. When a person is afraid of death, know well that person has missed life. If he had not missed life, there cannot be any fear of death. If a person has lived life, he will be ready to live death also. He will be almost enchanted by the phenomenon of death. When Socrates was dying, he was so enchanted that his disciples could not believe that what he is feeling so happy about. One disciple, Creto, asked, why you are looking so happy? We are crying and weeping. Socrates says, why should not I be happy? I have known what life is. Now I would like to know what death is. I am at the door of a great mystery. And I am thrilled. I am going on a great journey of the unknown. I am simply full of wonder. I cannot wait. And remember, Socrates was not a religious man. Socrates was not in any way a believer. Somebody asked, are you so certain that the soul will survive after death? Socrates says, I don't know. To say I don't know is the greatest courage in the world. It is very difficult. Difficult for the language professors to say I don't know. Difficult for the parrots. A very sincere and honest man. Socrates says, I don't know. But then the disciple asked, then why you are feeling so happy? If the soul does not survive, then Socrates, I have to see. If I survive, there is no fear about it then. If I don't survive, how can there be fear? If I don't survive, then where is the fear? There is nobody there. So fear cannot exist. If I survive. There is no point in getting afraid about it. But I don't know exactly what is going to happen. That's why I am so much full of wonders and ready to go into it. I don't know. To me, this is what a religious man should be. A religious man is not a Christian or a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Mohammedan. Because all these are ways of knowledge. A Christian says, I know, and his knowledge comes from the Christian dogmas. A Hindu says, I also know, and his knowledge comes from the Vedas and the Gitas and his dogmas. And a Hindu is against the Christian because he says, if I am right, you cannot be right. If you are right, then I cannot be right. So there is great argument and there is much dispute and much debate and unnecessary conflict. A religious man, a really religious man, not the so-called religious people, is one who says, I don't know. When you say, I don't know, you are open. You are ready to learn. When you say, I don't know, you don't have any prejudice, this way or that. You don't have any belief. You don't have any knowledge. You have only awareness. You say, I am aware, and whatsoever happens, I will see. I will not carry any dogma from the past. This is the attitude of a disciple. The attitude of one who wants to learn. And discipline simply means learning. A disciple means a learner, and discipline means learning. One who is ready to learn. Here I am not to teach you any dogmas. I am not imparting any knowledge to you. I am simply helping you to see that which is. Live your life. Whatsoever the cost, be ready to gamble with it. I have heard about a businessman He was walking from his office to a restaurant for lunch when he was stopped by a stranger who said to him, I don't think that you remember me, but 10 years ago I came to this city broke. I asked you for a loan and you gave me $20 because you said you were willing to take a chance to start a man on the road to success. The businessman thought for a while and then he said, yes, I remember the incident. Go on with your story. Well, remarked the stranger, are you still willing to gamble? Life asks you the same question again and again and again. Are you still willing to gamble? It is never certain. Life has no insurance in it. It's simply an opening, a wild opening, a chaotic opening. You can make a small house around you secure, but then that will prove your grave. Live with life. And we have been doing that in many ways. Marriage is man-created. Love is part of life. When you create marriage around love, you are creating security. You are making something which cannot be made. Love cannot be made legal. You are trying to do the impossible. And if in that effort love dies, there is no wonder. You become a husband, your beloved becomes a wife, you are no more two alive persons. You are two functionaries. The husband has a certain function, the wife has a certain function to do. They have certain duties to fulfill. Life has ceased flowing. They are frozen.